Welcome to the Lead Word. I'm one of your hosts, Chad Bauman. With me, as always, Trey Daubert. We have making a reappearance. He was in the background. He just wasn't with us. We have Isaiah. Like I said, the recording times just they didn't match up for us to have him join, but we were able to get him in today. Oh, Trey with the Phillies shirt on.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Guys. This is equipment from when I worked there.
With the Iron Pigs.
Yeah.
Still fits.
I mean, it wasn't that long ago.
No. I thought it was long ago.
No.
Well, what's going on? How you guys doing?
I want to hear from Isaiah.
Fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nothing
No thoughts. I guess your internship.
Chad, I woke up today. I have 3 interviews scheduled: 9:30, 10 o'clock, show at 10:30, and I could have just stayed in bed for another hour. No shows on both.
The interviews, you mean?
Yep.
Did they contact you to say why?
Nope.
So wait, what time were the interviews again?
9:30, 10, and then the show 10:30. Nothing.
So where are the kids from? Are they like? Is it a time zone issue? Is that?
No, both were actually in the same time zone.
So they're Eastern time people. Yep. Oh, then they have no excuse. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Anyway, we're going to do some NFL draft grades today. I have all the posts up on the site, and I guess we'll see if Chad disagrees or agrees with them. That would probably be the easiest way to do it.
Yeah.
All right.
Where do you want to start?
I guess we'll do the AFC East. I probably should have had these loaded on my phone beforehand.
Yeah, I was just thinking the same thing.
It's all right.
Let's see.
Okay. Let's do Buffalo Bills. I gave the Bills a D. This is why. I really like Brandon Beane. I think he's one of the best general managers in the league. And when you're picking 27, it's hard to do really well when you have limited picks. But the idea that you're going to trade up for Dalton Kincaid was a wrong answer. The only pick I really liked was Osiris Torrance. He was my number 1 guard. He'll come in and start. But other than that, they didn't get anything. Dorian Williams, is he really going to be your Tremaine Edmonds replacement? Like, you're counting on his rookie out of Tulane to fill that spot. Not sure that's going to go well. Justin Shorter, he's just not that good. Used to be at Penn State, transferred to Florida, did nothing. And then 2 7th-round picks that are whatever.
I'll be 100% honest. I didn't watch day 3. I was just like, it's day 3. It is what it is. I don't really care at this point. But I don't know. I mean, it wasn't. I wouldn't say D. I would maybe go C, bottom edge of C plus maybe.
Okay.
I feel like it was a very average draft. I don't think it was like anything to sneeze at. I don't think it was anything to be terrible. Like say they were terrible, but I feel like it was very average.
When you talk about the Bills, though, did they really need another tight end? Like was that really their missing piece to go and trade up for?
I mean, that's fair. But I mean, at the same time, Dawson Knox, injury history, like he's always in and out. It's not like they have a bunch of holes. I'm not saying tight end.
Offensive line, they have some holes.
Well, I think they have an average offensive line.
Yeah.
Which is why they took an offensive lineman in the 2nd round.
He's their only pick that I liked.
I mean, tight ends, they can help with blocking. They can help with that.
Oh, that one's not helping you block.
I mean, you could coach that though.
Have you seen the tight end out of Utah? He can't block.
I'm not saying he can. I'm just saying you can coach that.
All right.
I mean, sometimes all you just need is a guy to be there, just a body in the way. Sometimes it.
I guess.
Like I said, I think it's average.
Yeah.
Like C, maybe crack C plus area, but I just think it's an average draft.
I thought the Bills had a real opportunity. They're a Super Bowl caliber team. They can absolutely win the Super Bowl. And then you come out with that. I don't know. Feels like a lost opportunity.
No, I think
Miami Dolphins. So they only had 4 picks, but I gave them a B-. The reason for that being, I'm not sure I can blame their general manager because their owner decided to be an idiot and try to recruit Tom Brady and get their draft pick stripped. So I'm not sure that's really his fault, especially when he's come out and said that Tua is the guy. He picked up the 5th-year option. They've done nothing but say all the right things, done the right things, except the owner wanted Tom Brady. So I don't know how much you can punish them for not having a first-round pick. The picks that they did have, I thought they did pretty well. Cam Smith, corner out of South Carolina. Every mock simulation that it did in one of those videos, he went in the first round. They got him at pick 51. Pretty good there. Devin Achane, he's a monster. Well, more so a speed demon. Guy the fastest 40 at the combine. That dude can run. He's going to help them. Elijah Higgins, 6th round. He's going to be a new tight end. Wide receiver at Stanford, so he's a bit of a project, but it's a good project. And then they get Ryan Hayes out of Michigan in the 7th round, who was a starting left tackle and probably shouldn't have been there in the 7th round. So I liked what they did.
Yeah, I think the B- is fair. I don't know. Like, Miami was a good team last year. I don't know much what they have in like draft capital to try to like move up. Like, I guess
they only had 4 picks.
Well, no, I didn't mean this year. I meant like next year.
Oh, next year they're fine, I think.
Yeah, because I like, so for example, I know the Eagles going into the draft until Howie Roseman started wheeling and dealing. I know they had like 12 picks next year because they had comp picks coming back from free agency this year. I don't know what Miami has next year, so I can't really say what they could have like done to try to maybe get back into the first round, maybe the second half, of the, the like pick 20 to like 31 or something like that. But yeah, I mean, not having a first round pick, I feel like it's just a solid draft. Maybe if they had a first round pick, we might go A, but it's hard to say without having that first round pick.
Yeah. Patriots. It seems like the general consensus hates their draft. I actually didn't mind it. Compared to past Patriots drafts, I thought he did pretty well here. I gave the Patriots.
You were like, oh my God, Bill Belichick finally had a good draft.
I gave him a B+, and it seems like a lot of people disagree with me. It seems like a lot of people are banging on him. To move down and get Christian Gonzalez at 17 feels like a home run scenario. And did you see the thing that Belichick said in the media?
No, what did he say?
So they had picked 14. The Jets, because of the Aaron Rodgers trade down, had picked 15, and they really wanted Broderick Jones. The Steelers called them and said, we would like to get Broderick Jones if possible. Bill Belichick said, fuck the Jets, we'll trade with you.
Wait, so they called the Jets first?
The Patriots had picked 14. The Jets had picked 15. The Steelers had picked Jones. The Steelers had picked 17. The Steelers called the Patriots and said, we'd like to move up in front of the Jets for Broderick Jones. Did you see? I don't know if you watched the first round, but the Jets were panicking in the war room. Like, you could see people running around like crazy. And Belichick said, fuck the Jets on basically his draft call.
I didn't see that, but that does sound like a very Belichick. Well, actually, no, I would say that seems a little bit too emotional for him. When you think about it, like he's normally,
yeah,
like, him to go like, fuck those guys. I don't know. Maybe we're seeing a different Bill Belichick.
But the fact that he was even able to trade down, collect an extra pick, Christian Gonzalez might be the best corner in the draft. I loved him. And especially in New England, he's not going to fail. So I thought that was a great pick. And then he did take some gambles. Keon White, former 2-star recruit, tight end. He's now a 285-pound defensive lineman. So we'll see what happens there. But that fucking guy's big. And it feels like a guy that he'll figure out how to use.
Yeah.
That Martu Mape, nobody really knows anything about him. He's a Sacramento State guy, but he was flying around at the Senior Bowl. So I had no problem with that. He took a bunch of guards, bunch of interior offensive linemen that'll probably help him and probably start. And then even in the 6th round, well, they did get a new starting kicker out of this draft. The Maryland kicker was pretty good when I watched their games anyway. And they get in the 6th round, Kayshon Boutte, the LSU wide receiver. Chad, he might be their best receiver right now.
I think he is. No, I'm not joking. I really think he is their best. Because the only guy that I knew that was one of their wide receivers was number 16 last year. I don't even remember his fucking name, but I know he's not even on the team anymore.
They have Juju Smith-Schuster as like.
Oh yeah, but that guy.
Butte might be their best receiver.
Honestly, let's be honest. He might not even make the fucking team.
He's not good.
If he makes one fucking TikTok, he's gone. You think Belichick's putting up with that shit?
No. So I thought they did okay. I thought it was a good draft for them.
I don't know if I would necessarily go B+.
Okay.
And correct me if I'm wrong. They traded up to get the Marte Mapu guy, right?
I don't believe so. They came out of this draft. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. They have 12 picks out of this draft.
Yeah. The 2 picks that I think
I know they moved down a couple times.
I know, yeah, they did, or maybe that pick in the 3rd round was one that they picked up after moving down. I don't know. I don't know if I would have necessarily taken that guy in Marte Mapu in the 3rd round. I don't know about that. And then the punter in the 4th round. I don't.
That was a kicker in the 4th round. Their punter went in the 6th round.
Whatever. The guy kicks the fucking football. You know what I meant. Like, I just don't like kickers.
You hate kickers.
I like one kicker. I like one, and his name is Jake Elliott.
I thought you liked Young Ho Ko.
No, I just like him for fantasy. I don't like him as a person though. I like Jake Elliott. He's the only kicker that I like, and that's only because he plays for the Eagles. If Jake Elliott played for fucking any other team, be like, fuck that guy. He's an Eagle, so he's a good guy.
Can we get a soundbite of saying I don't like him as a person because he's a kicker?
But I don't know. I don't like. I would never take a kicker earlier than the 6th round. Like 6 and 7, that's when you get your kicker. Like okay. There's no need to take a kicker earlier than the 6th round. Like okay. I guarantee nobody was flying up the fucking draft boards to grab, what is this guy's fucking name?
Chad Ryland.
It's a nice name, but nobody was like banging on the fucking door. Hey, we need Chad Ryland. The Patriots are going to get him. We got to jump him to get him.
Hey, they moved. That's actually, I just looked it up. They moved up for the kicker. That's the one that they did.
Yeah. Not a fan of that.
Okay.
I might go B-, C+ maybe.
All right.
Because of that.
Jets. I gave the Jets an F. I thought they totally bombed it. I thought the Aaron Rodgers trade ended up screwing them because if they had never made the trade and stayed at 13, they would have Broderick Jones. Instead, they reached for Will McDonald, who I thought was a 3rd or 4th rounder. He's a one-trick pony, edge rusher, can attack the quarterback. That is pretty much all he can do. I thought he was like a Bruce Irvin kind of guy. They picked him at 15 overall, and they were walking. I don't know who watched the draft and saw this, but they were panicking. Like, they were running around. They didn't know what to do. Everyone was on the phone. 2nd round, they took Wisconsin center Joe Tippmann. I think he's okay. I didn't even have him as a top 5 center in the class. 4th round, they didn't have a 3rd round pick. Carter Warren in the 4th round, he's like 25 already. Pittsburgh guy. I don't think he's that good. The only picks I did like that they had were the Pittsburgh running back Israel Abanikanda and Zach Kuntz, the Old Dominion tight end, in the 7th round. But yeah, I mean, that's not enough to save this awful draft.
No, I agree with you on this one. I think the Aaron Rodgers trade, like, I just don't get it.
I don't either.
Like, I know you need a quarterback, but like, you're gonna get like what, a year, 2 out of Aaron Rodgers,
and they gave up a 2nd round pick. Part of that deal, they didn't have one.
So, like, I think when you factor in there, like, I'm a big Aaron Rodgers fan. I love Aaron Rodgers. I loved going to Eagles games and telling him to call his brother. Like, what is he? He's like 38, 39 now, right? Like, or he might even be 40 at this point.
I think he is 40.
39.
39. Good look, Isaiah. So, like, I can't imagine trading for a 39-year-old quarterback, like, in this day and age. Like, and I know, like, I feel like people are like, oh, Tom Brady played until he was 50. But that's the exception. That's
the
not
Bucs got Tom Brady for free. Well, money, they had to pay money for him, but they didn't give up picks for him.
But that's my point. I feel like people see that Tom Brady played until he's 50, and they're like, our guy could do that. No, he can't. Like, he just fucking can't. It's not natural. Like, that's not going to happen every single time.
They fucked themselves, I thought.
can't
I
count
thought
on
they
that.
totally fucked themselves. And they're going to, because the snap count, I think the pick that the Packers will get next year is based off of snaps. That's going to be a first round pick next year.
Thought it could only, can it go to a first rounder? I thought,
yeah.
Oh, yeah, they're fucked.
That's
Unless
going to be
like, if you're the fucking Jets, you just have to hope he gets injured or you make the fucking Super Bowl. And I guarantee, like, they're not making the Super Bowl.
No.
Like, that's the only way. That's the only way it pays off is if they make the Super Bowl within the next 2 years. And it's not going to happen.
And it's not going to happen.
I will disagree, though, I with you on the F. I think they maybe get an F+ because I like Zach Kuntz.
Yeah, he was the one pick that I actually liked.
So, yeah, I think I go F+ because of just the name alone. I don't even know, like, I don't even care about the player. Just the name alone. That's what they get.
I think it's Kuntz.
I don't care.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't get the Aaron Rodgers trade either. Baltimore Ravens moving to the AFC North. I gave them a B. Thought I was being fair, Chad. I didn't love their draft, but I didn't necessarily hate it. I thought they made some good picks, especially when you factor in that they had no second rounder, but that was a trade for Roquan Smith. And anytime you can get Roquan Smith, one of the best linebackers in football, for a second round pick, you probably do it. Zay Flowers in the first round. I had him as my number one receiver. I think he's going to be a good player.
I wanted to text you when they picked him. I was like, that's your guy. Are you back in on the Ravens now?
I liked him. I liked him a lot. I probably would have held it off until the second round maybe to pick him, but I think he's a good player. No complaints there. Trenton Simpson, Clemson guy, should be a good pick. It sucks that they're going to decline the fifth-year option for Patrick Queen, so maybe that, I don't know, factors in somehow. They didn't really do anything afterwards. Tavius Robinson, Kai Blue Kelly, an Oregon tackle, and then Voorhees, the USC guard who tore his ACL. So I thought they did fine. B, solid B.
Yeah, I will say I like Voorhees. Like if the ACL doesn't bother him, I think that's a good.
Yeah, they already came out and said he's a 2024 pick for us.
Really? Yeah. Well, that makes sense. Like I said, if he can come back from that, I think that's a good. That's a pretty good project pick for them. Yeah, I agree with the B. I think that's fair. I will say, like, I mean, Zay Flowers, like, I saw a bunch of mock drafts. He went in like the top 15. So getting him at 20, I think that's, or 22. I think that's more than solid. I think that's, that's good value there. Trenton Smith, maybe that's the reason why they decided not to pick up Pat Queen's.
It probably is.
Now, I do want to ask you about that because there has been chatter that the Eagles might try to trade for Pat Queen. What do you think the odds of that happening?
No way. Is that actually a rumor?
I don't know how much of a rumor it is. Like, I've seen it on Twitter that, like, there might be interest there. And Howie Roseman, and that's the one thing that people kind of like get on my nerves about. Like, oh, the Eagles didn't pick up people in free agency. Like Howie's always working. Like, you can't trust that man. Like, he doesn't stop. Like, when you think about last year, like, two of our better players they didn't have until after the season started. CJ Gardner-Johnson and I'm trying to think, what's the other guy? Can't even fucking
Bradbury.
remember. Yeah, Bradbury. Well, no, they didn't have him during free agency. They got Bradbury before the season started, but they didn't get him until after the draft, I think. So, like, I think, the fact that they maybe could use some help at linebacker. I don't think that it's wrong to say Howie's not making a phone call.
I'll tell you this: if they offer them a good enough pick, I bet you that would happen.
Look, I'm just saying, if it's me, if I see that 215 area code, I'm not picking up the fucking phone. Howie Roseman isn't going to make me look dumb.
Did you see? I guess you didn't watch or the day 3, but he was on the telecast. They were talking to him about the draft, and every single question he was like, "I just want to credit Brad Holmes, such a professional. I just want to credit Nick Caserio. What a great job he did. Like, all he did there in the interviews was just pat the other GMs on the back. What a great job he is. What a pro. They really
Howie
made it
did,
work.
you mean?
What Howie was
Yeah.
talking.
Well, like I said, I didn't watch day 3, but that wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah,
Like
it was funny.
I like his character. He's a Philly guy. Like you wouldn't think about it. A guy named Howie, but he is a Philly guy through and
Apparently,
through.
they were giving him shit because he picked so many Georgia guys, and he's a Florida guy.
Well, I know that people were like, I know that people said they didn't like the draft or whatever, but like apparently, like, well, there's, I don't know. Like, I mean, it's Cowboys fans, so you have to take it with a grain of salt.
Okay.
But like none of the other GMs came out and said anything bad about it. So
I don't know how you could.
Yeah, but anyway, we're
you found a way to put some Eagles into the AFC.
Well, I was asking you about a valid opinion that you could possibly have on your team trading with the Eagles.
It's not my team anymore.
Patrick Queen. Yeah, you say that.
All right, Bengals. I gave them B2. Thought it was a solid draft. Nothing too over the top. Nothing too crazy. Miles Murphy at 28 is fine. He was projected to go higher. Clemson guy, former 5-star recruit. Going to help him at edge rusher. DJ Turner, Michigan guy. Pick 60, ran a really fast 40 time. I think he's pretty good. Jordan Battle, that's somebody you love, Chad. Pick 95. He's going to be their new safety. So get a Bama guy 3rd round. Charlie Jones, I was high on. That Purdue wide receiver, he's going to eat. But the only thing I didn't like is picks, or the 5th, 6th, 7th round picks. I thought they were a waste of time.
I mean, with the wide receiver thing, the only thing with that is where's he fit in? Because it's not like they don't already have like 3 studs. Like
I don't know.
Like he'll probably make the roster if he's a special.
He's gonna make
guy,
the roster.
But like, yeah, he might not see the ball at all. Like,
no, but
they legitimately have like, I mean, T. Higgins is maybe borderline, but 3 legitimate number 1 wide receivers on their team.
He could be their long-term Tyler Boyd replacement.
Oh, I don't know. Is he big enough to you mean switch to tight end?
No,
or
to
just
be a little slot guy.
Oh, I don't know why. Who is the tight end that they had a while back whose first name was Tyler? I don't know why. I just thought Tyler Boyd and I got him.
Tyler Eifert.
Yeah, for some reason I heard Tyler.
He sucked.
Yeah, that's why I was like, that's why I asked you if you thought he was converting to tight end. I was like, what? I don't know. I mean, I know they're still working on it. I would maybe like to see some more offensive linemen on their draft. But B's fair. I'll agree with that.
I gave the Browns a B as well. They didn't have a 1st or 2nd round pick, Watson trade. So if you kind of factor that out and technically they gave up their 2nd round pick to move down in the 3rd round to pick up Elijah Moore. I actually thought that was a pretty good trade. Move down like 20 spots, I think it was, and pick up Elijah Moore. So you got to factor that in too. Cedric Tillman in the 3rd round, pretty good contested catch guy. He'll make their team. He'll help them. And then they had some real gems in here for me. DeJuan Jones in the 4th round. I thought he was the 3rd best tackle in the draft. I think he's the best right tackle in the draft. I mean, I don't know how they got him in the 4th round. But that was a steal. And then late, Dorian Thompson-Robinson was one of my favorite quarterback gambles to take. Perfect backup for Watson. Cameron Mitchell, Luke Whippler. That Whippler, he was my 2nd-rated center in the class, and they got him in the 6th round. So Andrew Berry, former Eagles exec, I think he's doing a pretty good job there.
I want to get your opinion on this, and then this will determine whether or not I agree with the B. So, as I mean, it involved draft picks with this year, so you do have to factor in that Deshaun Watson trade. So, based on, I mean, obviously he was limited last year because of the suspension, but when he came back, he sucked.
Yes.
Are we expecting him to suck again, or are we thinking?
I think he's going to be good.
You think Watson's going to turn it around?
I think so.
Okay. Well, I'll agree with the B. Based on the Watson, the Watson is key for me. If he sucks, I gotta be like it's a C minus because, like,
I think he's going to be pretty good. He got the rust out of the way.
I hope so.
Their team is actually good.
Yeah, they are, but they haven't had it figured out at quarterback.
Like, I mean, realistically, they're going to win 6 games just by handing the ball off to Nick Chubb.
Which they did last year.
Yeah.
I want to say that I kind of want to say that they maybe didn't. I still think they could have rode out with Baker Mayfield.
No.
I think so.
And not been taken seriously, though.
Well, I think they could have been taken serious. I mean, the issues with Baker Mayfield didn't really start until your boy got there, Odell Beckham Jr. That's when everything went downhill. They went from a possible playoff team to a...
Hey, he's the new wide receiver for the Ravens.
Yeah.
Odell Beckham.
I know. Your favorite guy on your favorite team.
Wait until he realizes that, oh my God, this guy really can't throw the ball. Like, how am I going to put up numbers?
They don't need to throw the ball. Odell just needs to catch it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't know. If Watson's good next year, I agree with the B. I might even go B+. If he sucks next year, it's a C-.
Fair. Pittsburgh Steelers. We'll see what you think about this one. I gave them an A+. I think they knocked it out of the park. I was sitting there, like, if I'm thinking, oh, the Steelers, Joey Porter's just going to fall to their lap at 17. They're just going to pick him at 17. They're going to turn the card in, and it'll be a great draft for them. It got better. They moved up for Broderick Jones. Somehow, they traded Chase Claypool for this number 32 overall pick, and Porter was there. They didn't have to move at all. They got him with their second pick, and somehow kept getting better. I think maybe their most questionable pick might have been Keanu Benton, but he's a young guy, Wisconsin defensive tackle, looked okay at the Senior Bowl. But the fact that they got Darnell Washington in the 3rd fucking round, and he's their second tight end on the depth chart, how do you not give him an A? I thought he nailed this. And they picked up Nick Herbig. They got both Herbigs.
Yeah. They have the matching set. I agree with the A+. I'm not gonna lie, don't know too much about Broderick Jones, but you can't go wrong with taking Georgia players. Like
Georgia left tackle, and he's young. He's only 20.
If you draft the best players from the best teams, you can't go wrong, in my opinion.
Is that a future? That's a future note that's going to be used later.
Well, it was something that's been on my mind with Howie Roseman and how he drafts, but I'm just saying, if you draft the best guys from the best teams, like, there's a reason why they win national championships. It's because they got the best fucking players, right? So, hey, if he's, I can't, like I said, I didn't know too much about him, so if he's that good, I like the pick. Love Joey Porter Jr. at Penn State, so
that was their Claypool. That was the Claypool trade.
Yeah, and he fell. And there was a chance. There was a point before the Eagles took Nolan Smith. I was like, "Hey, we might get Joey Porter Jr. with that pick."
They could have.
And I was like, "Well, I mean, I wasn't mad when they drafted Nolan Smith, but at the same time, I was like, okay, like, we didn't get him. Maybe he's still there in the 2nd round." But like I said, the Steelers, he's still like, hey, he's staying in Pennsylvania. That's what counts.
He played high school football around Pittsburgh area too.
Well, I was gonna say even Penn State, like, the main campus is, like, I want to say at most it's an hour away from Pittsburgh. So, like, he's not going far.
His dad played for the team.
Yeah, that's true. I forgot about that and all the madness. But I mean, obviously, linebacker and corner are different positions, but
I can't believe they got him for. They literally made that Chase Claypool trade. I was like, maybe we'll come in at like pick 45. Nope. Pick 32, and they ended up with the best corner in the draft and just sat there.
Yeah. I know you said that, you're not like the biggest fan of Keanu Benton in the 3rd round, but I don't know. Wisconsin in the trenches, I think you can't go wrong with one of those guys. Like they run the ball and they stop the run in Wisconsin. I feel like you get one of those guys.
I don't think he's like a bad player. I just at pick 49, thought maybe could have did a little bit better.
Yeah, like I said, I agree with the A+. I'm a fan there.
Houston Texans, I gave them a B. Now, most of the time when you get a franchise quarterback and an edge rusher, maybe it should be an automatic A, but they gave up their next year's pick along with a bunch of other shit to move up to get Will Anderson. Now, maybe you could say, hey, that pick's going to be, whatever it is next year won't be as good as Will Anderson. Well, maybe. I don't know. I don't think I would have given up the Houston pick in any circumstance. That might be the first pick. It might be, maybe it'll be the 10th pick, but it's going to be a good pick and a loaded draft regardless. And then the rest of their draft, I don't know. There just wasn't anything there for me. Like Juice Scruggs in the second round, you moved up for that guy. Didn't get it. Tank Dell is like 160 pounds. Do they even pick him if he doesn't go to the University of Houston? I don't know. I didn't think Dylan Horton was any good. Henry Toto was fine. I thought that was a good pick. Jared Patterson was a good pick, but they basically took two centers. So I don't know. And then Xavier Hutchinson is whatever. I thought it was fine.
Well, I mean, I could be wrong, but Patterson can play guard, right?
I guess.
Has he played? I feel like one of them's had to have played guard before.
They're going to have to. They were both centers in college.
See, I don't know. Honestly, I think B is too high.
I
don't know how many picks. I mean, maybe I'm wrong here. How many picks does Houston have next year?
Oh, I don't know.
Isaiah, can you look that up? How many?
They have the Browns first rounder now instead of their own, though.
Right. I want to hear what Isaiah has to say, and this might change it, but to me, if you're as bad as the Houston Texans are, there's no rush on this fucking thing.
No.
Like, you just got your quarterback. What is CJ Stroud? What, 22, 20, 21?
Yeah.
There's no fucking rush on this.
No.
You have at least 5 years before he hits his prime in the NFL.
It would have made more sense if they gave up the Browns pick.
I would go D.
You might be right.
I didn't know what to do with this one. Trading to get to number 3 again. Like, I can't. Like, you have no fucking rush.
I think Will Anderson's going to be very good.
No, I'm not saying he's not, but like, yeah, you walked away from this draft with 8 picks. That's cool, but it's not like, oh, like we just needed the quarterback and maybe a couple other positions, and we would at least be playoff contenders. It's like, you literally have an entire roster that's dog shit.
Yeah.
Like, you can't look at anywhere on the roster and be like, hey, okay, they're good there. Like, maybe I think kicker is probably like that's probably the only position where you're like, hey, you know what? They probably don't need one of those. Like, it's literally every position. And just to go give up draft capital to come back and take one guy, that for me, I don't like that.
And they gave up their second rounder this year. Their second round pick was the Penn State center. Like, they entered this draft with the second pick in the first round, or the second pick in the second round, and gave it away in that trade up.
Were you able to find out their draft picks for next year, Isaiah?
Yeah, they have 8 next year.
Okay, so that's maybe not that bad. They have 8.
I mean, they're not gonna be very good though.
Right, they're not. Okay, maybe I don't go D, maybe I go C- because they still have 8 picks next year. But at the same time, I don't know.
Yeah.
That I agree with you. That first rounder next year is going to be probably a top 5 pick.
Yeah.
Because I mean, CJ Stroud could end up playing amazing next year. As bad as they are overall, it's not going to be that big.
They're fucking horrible.
So I don't like. They basically just. I guess you gotta have to. I don't know.
It's hard.
You gave up a top 5 pick, and yeah, you're probably going to get. You got a top 5 pick in return, but for me, it feels like hey, we're kind of complete. We just need 1 or 2 guys kind of move, but you don't need 1 or 2 guys. You need a lot of guys. Like,
they're 25 moves away.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not a fan of that. I'll go see. They have 8 picks next year. I'll give them a C-, but
Okay.
I'm not that big on the trade up.
Yeah. Colts. This one was hard for me too. I gave him a B. I don't even feel good about it. The Richardson thing, it all kind of depends on how you feel about him, but I don't really love the situation that they're going to put him in. And if you're going to ask him to start right away, I wouldn't play him a snap this year. I wouldn't. I think there's a chance that he makes it, but I wouldn't play him a snap this year, and they're gonna. And they're really not that good. The rest of their picks, they had some decent gambles, but I don't feel like confident about anybody other than maybe Josh Downs in the 3rd round. I like that pick a lot. He'll be a nice little target for him. Other than that, Julius Brents in the 2nd round, thought he was okay. He might work it out, but nothing special. Blake Freeland, 4th round, might be fine. BYU guy, 4th rounder. Northwestern guy, we both were pretty much on the same page that he wasn't that good, but it's the 4th round, so maybe it's okay. Darius Rush was a pick that I liked, former converted wide receiver. But other than that, I don't think he really got much.
So I like the tight end they got in the 5th round from Miami. I like him.
You like him?
Yeah. Well, I'm also a Miami fan, so I'm a little bit biased, but I do like him.
Okay.
I don't know. I would go A-.
A-.
I go A-. I told you before. I think for me,
you're a Richardson
Anthony
guy.
Richardson was my favorite quarterback in this draft. I told you that before, so yeah. I don't know. They got my favorite quarterback. I don't know. Who's their coach? Their head coach. Who's their head coach?
Steichen.
Who?
He's the Eagles offensive coordinator, Steichen.
Oh, I thought you said Eichen without the S. So I was like, who? So I don't know. Anthony Richardson with coming from a guy who just had Jalen Hurts.
You're going to talk yourself into it.
I don't know if I'm talking myself into it. I think they're going to do a lot of what they did with Jalen Hurts.
I don't think he's ready to play right now.
Hey, the best way to learn is to do, so I'm for it.
Mahomes sat a whole year.
Well, hey man, I got good at wrestling by getting my ass kicked on varsity for an entire season. So if I could bounce back from that, anybody could bounce. I mean, yes, I have shoulder problems, a knee problem, my tooth is chipped, and I have vision issues now, but I got really good at wrestling.
Okay. All right. Jacksonville Jaguars. They had a lot of picks, but I gave them an F. Didn't love it. They traded down a bunch of times, but I don't think they came away with any good players. Now, maybe they got some guys that can help them, but Anton Harrison, I thought that was way too high. I did not think he was a first-round player. And I think they only picked him because Cam Robinson got suspended and they panicked. So that wasn't great. Brenton Strange at pick 61. I mean, he's a total dart throw at tight end.
Oh, I'm sorry. One thing with the Houston draft, I just forgot about until literally just this second.
Okay.
And another reason why I don't like their draft is, yes, I get it. You got this rookie quarterback. You want to make him happy. But to go into the fucking draft, pick that guy and be like, let him decide fucking draft picks.
Oh, the 3rd round pick, Tank Dell.
Yeah. The wide receiver.
Nuts.
Like, that's insane to me.
Yeah.
Like,
he's literally
like,
160
whoever their
pounds.
GM is, like, that guy's a fucking pussy.
Yeah, he is.
Like, unless it just so happened that was going to be the pick that they were going to make anyway, that guy's a fucking pussy.
It might have been because he is from Houston, but I don't know. He's 160 pounds. He's not going to help him. He might be a kick returner.
No, I don't know about that. I mean, people were saying the same thing about Deshaun Jackson, and
Deshaun Jackson was way better than him.
Well, I'm not saying talent-wise. I'm saying like the size thing. Like, I don't think you can necessarily be like, oh, he's only 160 pounds.
He's
like,
fucking tiny.
I mean, Devontae Smith was like 108.
Yeah, but Devontae Smith has fucking
talent.
Whatever the opposite of T-Rex arms are.
Pterodactyl arms.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Brent
but yeah, sorry, I had to go back and say because I completely forgot to say that before.
Way too high at 61. I thought he was a tight end that was like, hey, this guy might be all right. But in the 2nd round, crazy. Tank Bigsby was the only pick that I liked. Good running back, but I mean, he's going to be a rotational guy with ETN. Other than that, what the hell did you get? What did you come away with?
Yeah, I agree with the F. There's not really much there.
There's nothing there. There's a lot of quantity, not a lot of quality.
Yeah, that's a fair grade. I agree with that.
Tennessee Titans. I gave them a solid C. I didn't love it, but I didn't necessarily hate it. Peter Skoronski, their offensive line is a mess. And regardless of if he's a tackler or a guard, he's going to help you. So I thought that pick was fine. I wouldn't have went pick 11 for him, but I thought it was fine. Will Levis in the second round, we'll see what happens. But the biggest problem that I had with the pick is, why did you pick Malik Willis the year before? Are you throwing him in the trash now? What's your plan with these developmental quarterbacks?
And Levis was what, seventh overall, right?
33.
Oh, why did I think he was higher than that?
But they traded up for him and gave up some picks, so got to factor that in too. They did have two picks later on that I really liked. Tajay Spears, but he's going to be Derrick Henry's backup. So
yeah.
And then
well, I don't know, not necessarily backup, because Derrick Henry's not a fucking ball catcher.
Fair. Jalen Duncan, 6th round. I thought that was a good pick. But I don't know. I thought it was fine. Nothing to write home about that.
I don't know. Fucking F. Will Levis. Okay. Can't fucking do that. That guy's a fucking sociopath.
I don't necessarily disagree.
I get it. Tannehill's old, breaks down every year, and when he doesn't break down, he sucks. But I don't know. I'd rather suck and then go out and get one of the quarterbacks next year. Or, just fucking turn it over to the Liberty guy. I don't know why I can't remember. You just said his name. I don't know why I can't remember it right now.
The Liberty guy. Oh,
yeah.
Willis.
Yeah. But no, I don't. I know technically speaking, value-wise, based on where he was projected to go, Will Levis is taking him in the second round is a good value pick. But I don't know. I just hate that guy. And there was one point during the draft, I was not a fan of how he was holding his mom's lap. Did not like that. Not a fan. What else? I don't know. Just that guy fucking creeps me out.
I'm trying to find my AFC West grades, and I can't find it on the fucking thing.
Well, just do what I do. AFC West draft grades, Vendetta Sports Media, and it should come up. Just Google
it. For some reason.
Oh, you didn't post it, did you?
No, I definitely did. Okay, here it is. All right. Found it. Broncos. I gave them a C+. I thought there was a chance that this could be a real disaster. The Russell Wilson trade is horrible. But if you factor in what they actually did for the draft, I thought they did about as well as they possibly could. Marvin Mims, player I really liked. It sucks that they moved up for him, so ding him a little bit there, but I think he's a perfect fit for the wide receiver room. Cortland Sutton, the big body guy. Jerry Jeudy, the route running clinic guy. And then you got this speed demon on top of it. It's a pretty good wide receiver room. Drew Sanders was my number 1 linebacker in the draft. Pick 67. I think that was a really good value pick there. Riley Moss. White corner can run, I guess. I don't know how many white corners are in the league, but I believe in him.
I think he's literally the only one.
Yeah. So
the last one was Cortland Finnegan. After that, there hasn't been another one.
I don't think Cortland Finnegan was white, was he?
I thought he was Italian. His name, that's white.
Anyway, I thought based on how bad the Russell Wilson trade was, I thought the picks that they did turn in pretty good. So C+ for me.
Send me the link to your draft grades because I like to have it to look at.
You couldn't find
here
it either, right?
Yeah, I don't. No, I had to go to the site and actually go to your like page on the site. Yeah, I think I agree. I think it's an average draft. I don't think nothing to sneeze at. They came out with 6 picks. Just overall solid. I agree. But
Kansas
like
City
you said,
Chiefs.
I think
Go
the
ahead.
Russell Wilson trade,
Yeah, horrible.
that's gotta he's got to be good this year for them.
He'll be better.
Yeah, well, Sean Payton will help.
Yeah. Chiefs. I gave him an F. I thought it was dumb. I didn't get it. The fact that, and not even that, like they held all the cards. Teams wanted to trade up. That 5th-year option is valuable. I'm sure they had a ton of offers on the table for the last pick in the first round. To turn the card in for the Kansas State pass rusher made no sense. Made no sense. I understand that you want a pass rusher, need a pass rusher. There's no way that guy's a first-round pick. So, not a great start. Rashee Rice was one of the picks I understood, and then the 1-year Morris was fine, but they didn't get anything else after that. They got a Virginia Tech safety who's not any good. DJ Thompson's the FCS guy who's a total gamble. So I hated their draft.
I don't know. I do agree with the Kansas State pass rusher.
That killed the grade for me. I just didn't get it.
I don't know. I mean, I have Rashee Rice in fantasy. I liked him as coming out.
He's going to be their Juju replacement.
Yeah, I think he'll get looks. I mean, fantasy wise, he's going to be a guy where it's like you're never going to know when he's going to have points because they throw to Travis Kelce almost exclusively and they're running backs. But I don't know. I don't think it's an F necessarily. I think the Kansas State in the first round when you had, and they said that too. I think if you remember, I don't know if they said it during the second day or they said it maybe like kind of like in the wrap up coverage on the end of the first day, but they said like, oh, teams were like calling the Chiefs and they were trying to get that pick because they said the same thing with the Eagles. Like the phone was ringing, but obviously Nolan Smith was still there and the Eagles weren't about to pass on him. So for me, I think, you got to maybe trade that because I think that Kansas State guy, like when you think about the teams that were calling, I think they said like the Saints was one of them. You could have traded with the Saints and gotten him with their pick if like that was the guy you were going for.
Yeah.
So
100%.
I think you got to make that trade. I don't think the entire draft is F worthy because of it. I go maybe like C- D+.
Okay.
But I don't think it was like the best draft that they could have had.
Yeah. Raiders, they also got an F for me. I hated almost everything they did.
It's the Raiders, so I feel like that's an obvious.
Tyree Wilson is a total project. He did nothing at Texas A&M. I don't care what anybody says. I watch Texas A&M all the time. They're an SEC team. Did nothing there. He only produced when he was older. He transferred to Texas Tech, inferior competition in the Big 12. He put up some numbers there, but that's not the 7th pick in the draft for me ever. Michael Mayer, I mean, they gave away Darren Waller for pick 100, and then they turned the card in at pick 100 for Trey Tucker. So they got a worse tight end. He is younger, but he's very slow. And then they took the wrong Byron Young. Like the Tennessee Byron Young was good. He's a good pass rusher. He's fast. The Alabama Byron Young, you're lucky if you get Dalvin Tomlinson out of it. So
can we just real talk? Like, did they actually take the wrong guy though? Just to like clarify.
I don't know, but I know that the Tennessee Byron Young is way fucking better than the Alabama Byron Young.
I feel like that would be such a Raiders thing to do.
They may have
put the wrong guy on the card in terms
they took the wrong Byron Young. I don't know how they did it, but they did it. Jacorian Bennett is a pick that I actually liked. Christopher Smith is a pick that I liked. Maybe 2 secondary guys that can help them, but other than that, I don't think they came away with much.
Yeah, I agree with you on the I agree with you on the F. I want to also talk about. Did you see Mike Mayock's comments the other day?
No, I didn't.
Basically, he came out. Did I save it? He basically came out and he said, like, when he was the GM with the Raiders, like Gruden had, like, basically he said everything was Gruden. Like Gruden had all final say on everything.
Of course, he's gonna fucking say that. Throw him under the bus.
He was like, Gruden had final say on every pick. Like, I think the only thing that he took credit for was like, yeah, we thought Clelin Ferrell was going to be good. We were wrong, but we thought he was going to be good. That's like the only thing he took credit for. I wonder if I can. I don't think.
Or blame. You could say he took blame for that because he sucked.
Right, blame, credit, whatever. But yeah, I didn't save it, but I was just wondering. Like, that was kind of interesting that he came out and he said that stuff. But no, I mean, it's the Raiders draft. Like, they don't. I don't know what. I mean, I guess Tyree Wilson. People were saying he would, like. I mean, other people projected he was like he was the best. Like, I saw like projections like he was the best pass rusher in the draft. But
those people are insane.
Huh?
Those people are insane.
Well, I can tell you for a fact the ESPN draft board had him as the number 1 defensive end.
Todd McFraud, nuts.
But I mean, and I guess like there were mock drafts with him going at like 2 or 3 or whatever. But I don't know. I don't like the draft there.
Yeah. Last one, Chargers. I gave them a C-. This one was a hard grade for me to give out, but it's a lot of swing and miss here, I think. A lot of swing and miss. Some of these picks might work out, but a lot of gambles. Quentin Johnston, wide receiver. I think he's a risky pick. He wasn't super high on my wide receiver list. He's a big guy, tall, can run, but he's like a total body catcher, not really a refined route runner. Boomer bust guy to me. But, I mean, I guess the good news is they have Keenan Allen, they have Mike Williams, so maybe they don't need him right away and he can develop into something. My favorite pick out of them was Tui Tuipulotu. That guy's an animal. Led the country in sacks. I loved him. And that was pretty much what got it to a C- for me. Deion Henley, converted wide receiver. I thought he's a fine gamble in the 3rd round, but after that, you didn't come away with anything. You took the other TCU wide receiver, and he's nothing. Jordan McFadden, Max Duggan. Did you want to load up on TCU guys? Was that the strategy?
Yeah, right. I was gonna say, honestly, I think C- is generous.
It might be.
I F+ D- for me.
Okay, I'm fine with that. I love Tuipulotu.
Three fucking TCU guys. 3 of them.
Yeah.
3 of them, and 2 of them are wide receivers. And we know for a fact TCU wide receivers can't play for shit.
Who's the last one that's good?
I can tell you the last one that was bad.
Yeah. I'm sure you can.
And Max, like, and by the way, like the Eagles took all the fucking Georgia guys. They were like, well, we want the fucking team that got their ass kicked by those guys. Let's get those fucking guys in the building. They know how to take a fucking beating.
Yeah. I mean, Duggan's going to end up being a backup if he even makes the team.
Yeah, that's fair. But the wide receivers, that's just.
I have less issue with the first wide receiver they take because he actually has some talent. He's a former 4-star recruit. He really is a big body. Like, they don't make a ton.
I can tell you right now, you can get a 4-star recruit just by being tall.
He is tall.
I know you can get I know you can be a 4-star recruit just by being tall because it happened to a kid on my football team in high school. Like, literally played 1 year of high school football, 1 year, and he fucking sucked the year that he played. And he was a 3-star recruit, but he got 3 stars just because he was 6'6".
He has some talent. Like, it's hard to find guys that are that big and can move that well. So I kind of understood it. But the second TCU wide receiver, who's nothing, like, he was basically a gadget guy for TCU. How do you pick him in the 4th round? Like, what are you doing?
No, for me, I'm not touching a TCU wide receiver with a 32.5-foot pole.
Do you know my draft comp for Quentin Johnston was Kevin White? Do you remember him?
Yeah, the fat guy.
So I wasn't super high on him, but I at least kind of got it.
Well, I mean, I can understand why they made the pick,
Yeah.
but it was a dumbass pick. Like I know why they did it, but it still doesn't make it a bad doesn't make it not a bad pick.
At
least
you're not asking them to go be the number one. Like, you have Keenan Allen, you have Mike Williams, you have Josh Palmer. Even if it takes him 2 years to figure his shit out, you can kind of understand it.
Yeah, I mean, again, I understand it, but there's better wide at 21. There was better wide receivers on the board at that point,
for sure.
So, like I said, D-, F+, maybe.
Well, I think he was the second one taken. So it was,
again, my point.
Yeah.
What the last time a TCU wide receiver was taken earlier than he was expected to, and was the second wide receiver in the draft to be taken, didn't turn out very well.
No.
So
hey, Pro Football Focus said that Jalen Reagor was better than Justin Jefferson in that draft. Don't forget it.
Yeah. And I guess he's a better NFL wide receiver too. So yeah, that's Pro Football Focus can 100% be trusted.
Okay, that's all the AFC ones.
But again, I'll go D- just because I do like the USC defensive.
I love him.
Thought he was good. Thought the Eagles might get him, but obviously we didn't need him after we got Nolan Smith.
Okay.
I just like to point out that the Eagles got Nolan Smith at 30.
Mm-hmm. All right, that's it. Done. AFC's done.
Isaiah, I know you're not a football guy, but did you watch the draft or no?
He didn't watch it.
I just wanted to ask. All right, well, what else? Any closing thoughts for you, Trey? No? All right.
Do the NFC next week.
Yep. What do we got? Don't forget to follow Trey on Twitter at Trey Daubert. You can see it spelled right there on your screen. You can follow me at Lilfooted, LILFWOTED. You can follow the site, Vendetta VSM. Check out our Instagram. Follow us on Facebook or like us on Facebook, whatever you do on Facebook. Check out the site. That's where most of the articles get pointed out. If you want to check out Trey's actual written draft grades and statements, you can check those out. They're up right now. We got all kinds of articles coming out. If you're watching this on the YouTube channel, like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell so you get the notifications and all that. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.